Hi there, Linda from Let's Talk Prepping, and I hope you're prepping and prepping as much as you can, as often as you can, because things are getting bad out there. And if you didn't realize it, just from the price of gasoline and diesel and the shortages and the bird flu and everything else that's going on, I'm going to give you some warnings from some economists, and I hope this will spur you on to start prepping as much as you can now. So this is everything here will be from Yahoo Finance. Brace yourself. Jamie Dimon warns of coming economic hurricane that will require preparation as the Fed shrinks its balance sheet. An economic hurricane is on the horizon, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon said. You know, I said there's storm clouds, but I'm going to change it. It's a hurricane, he said, adding that the potential for an imminent economic recession requires preparation by the banks. And I believe it requires preparation by all of us. So that means make sure you have your food, your water, your medicine, your survival equipment, everything you need. Goldman's Waldron warns of unprecedented economic shocks, echoing Dimon. A top Goldman Sachs Group Incorporated executive echoed Jamie Dimon's pessimistic tone, warning of tougher times ahead amid a string of shocks rattling the global economy. This is among, if not the most complex dynamic environments I've seen in my entire career. The confluence of the number of shocks to the system, to me, is unprecedented. And if you look at the shocks to the food system, you would just be amazed at all of them. We expect that there's going to be tougher economic times ahead, Waldron said. No question, we are seeing a tougher capital markets environment. So here we have two economists for big banks warning of problems. And the economy is clearly in the process of slowing down based on employment data, economist says. And we have dreams of improved supply chains shattered for the near term. Shortages of semiconductors, car parts, and other key items that flow through the supply chain are likely to remain for the foreseeable future. So that means if you have anything that you need that has a semiconductor, or if you need car parts, now would be the time to buy them, or at least to order them and hope that they might come. Bottom line, we find that supply chain pressures have proved to be more persistent and apparently deep-rooted than we had expected even a few months ago. The challenges in the months ahead look to be as acute as any time over the past 2 years. Inflation, labor shortages, and increased household savings are some of the ongoing headwinds facing supply chains. Semiconductors, meanwhile, continue to be in short supply, in large part due to China's zero COVID-19 policies, amid solid demand for PCs and autos during the pandemic. We're about halfway through the chip shortage, Intel CEO Pat Gelsinger told Yahoo Finance. My expectation now is that it persists through 2024. This is 2022. So that's a long time to have all of these shortages. Big short investor Michael Burry warns the U.S. economy is on borrowed time and consumers will blow through their savings in a matter of months. Americans are burning through their savings and might virtually exhaust them within months. Michael Burry warned the U.S. economy could suffer once consumers empty out their savings account. The U.S. economy is being propped up by consumers cracking open their piggy banks and could capitulate once their savings dry up later this year. And Michael Burry warned in a recent, now deleted tweet. This is on Yahoo Finance, so it's not something, it's mainstream. Charting total U.S. personal savings, GDP, he wrote, red line is the all-time low at 1.5% set in July 2005. At the last 12 months rate of depletion of savings could hit that level between September and December this year. Murray's view seems to be that consumers are rating their savings account to weather inflation of food, energy, and housing costs, and a recession is likely once those cash reserves are exhausted. So if you're rating your savings account right now, do it for things that you're going to need in the long run: food, water, security, medicine, whatever it is that you're going to need for the next few years, garden seeds. The hedge fund manager could also mean by borrowing time that consumers will have to load up on debt once their savings accounts are empty, or the federal government will have to engage in more debt-funded spending to keep the economy afloat. Looming a consumer recession and more earning trouble. Burry is notorious for predicting calamities and disasters. He rang the alarm on the greatest speculative bubble of all times in all things last summer and warned buyers of meme stocks and cryptocurrencies they were facing the mother of all crashes. And here's a chart of the personal savings rate. And you can see how it just is going down. So what does all this mean for you? It means that inflation is killing us and everything is just going up so much that now is the time to prep, because it's like having money in the bank. It's your interest. Things are going to be so much more expensive later. You would save money by buying them now. And with everything that's happening and the blackouts that are rolling blackouts they're expecting, which could cause problems with our grid, if we have anything more, you're going to need to prep and prep as much as possible. And I think you should stop and consider what you're going to need if this crisis continues, if the supply chain gets worse, if gas keeps going up, if diesel fuel keeps going up, if food keeps going up. What are you going to need in the long run, in the next year, in the next 2 years? Is there any way you could get it now? If nothing else, get enough seeds to garden so that you can at least try to grow your own food, help yourself in that way. So leave us a comment. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.